Moving up and down again. There's no discharge in the war. There's no discharge in the war.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Shepherd's Pie. I'm David.
And I'm Tommy.
There's a lot of rising tension in the world, Tommy. A lot of crazy shit going on. There always has been a lot of crazy shit going on.
Yep, that's a fact. And same playbook is being thrown out right now with what just happened recently with Venezuela. We're doing the same thing again in Iran overnight. Iran just got bombed back to the Stone Age, theoretically.
Yep.
Their president is dead. So there's just apparently he could not be dead.
Yeah.
There was reports that I heard that he survived. So Iran said that he survived. Israel says he's dead. And then the most recent one, Israel said that they found a body, but we don't know if that's true yet. It's not like 100% confirmed. All of this has just happened within the past 24 hours.
Right.
Nuclear sites hit. Their uranium
Sites.
plants and shit. Yep.
Quote unquote.
And their aerospace center has been smashed to billions of pieces. Then we've got their capital, Tehran, was hit with overwhelming force. USA.
Yeah.
Their internet's blacked out as well.
Apparently they're happy, just like the Venezuelans are happy about it.
Yeah.
Thank
Coming
God
from your state-sponsored media.
Daddy America came in and saved the day.
Yeah.
No,
I don't really
that's
understand
messed up.
how anybody thinks that that's like the normal like operations of what happens whenever a country is just all of a sudden overwhelmingly bombed.
Yeah. Well, I had heard
Like, how do you think that people are just happy?
I had heard that the footage of the citizens of Venezuela celebrating in the streets after we took their president in the middle of the night, that was actually like reused footage from some other celebration.
Yep.
So
I heard the same thing.
I'm very much highly doubting that the Iranians are happy we came in and bombed their country and killed or captured their president, like whatever happened. It's insane. No, there's reports of a school getting hit and a young girl's school, so like 50-something girls got killed.
That's so
Allegedly.
Iran has been trying to send out information about stuff that's been going on because the internet has been totally cut off in Iran.
Yeah.
And they're apparently some type of bot swarms that Iran is trying to send out to cause whatever, hacker chaos throughout the world.
I'll say it's
X
Hamas terrorism,
banned a bunch of
anti-Semitism.
Yeah. But X blocked a bunch of bots. That there was a giant influx of Iranian bots apparently that were trying to post on X that X blocked. But somehow or some way, some information came out of Iran talking about how a school has been hit and a bunch of other places have been hit.
Like, yeah, of course. There's
Talking
gonna
about
be,
civilian casualties.
Yeah, of course, there's going to be casualties.
But the U.S. and the rest of the world, it feels that's where I'm getting at with it. Is it's got the hallmarks of here's the propaganda, so everybody is getting the U.S. propaganda right now, which could be more true or less true than whatever we would be getting from anywhere else. But it's all the same that they're going to be trying to make themselves look good and exonerate any terrible shit that has happened as a result of this. Which you have to imagine there has to be. There has to be.
History is written by the victor. This is
Yep.
them writing their
That's-
victorious history right in front of your eyes.
Heck yeah. That's it, dude.
You gotta have
That's
the
it.
discernment to be able to see what's actually happening in front of your face. Now, there is, seemingly corroboratable information coming out about Iranian terrorist cells in America already about to be activated because of this. And specifically saw this on the Sean Ryan show. So check out Sean Ryan. That's like one of the best podcasts ever. There was this woman on there talking about like how people ought to be responding when they see these things happening, because you're going to see bombs going off. You're going to see massive destruction, and your first response is going to be to go help somebody. Well, there's already tactics in play where like the first bomb goes off as a distraction so that when people come in to help, another bomb goes off to kill all the helpers. Like, look after you and yours, apparently. Which, that kind of goes against our natural impulse as human beings. Like, you want to save people, you want to help. But it seems like it's going to get crazy here in a little bit. So, I mean, that's kind of...
It could. Theoretically, it could. And if it does, that would be... Yeah.
But
that's...
hopefully we'd have a greater advantage or a greater precautionary measure in place for if something like this was to happen.
I think that's what the ICE raids have been. I think that the majority of the ICE raids have been in preparation for this move that we're doing right now.
It makes sense, because, I mean, we did see that large influx of people. It wasn't even Mexicans coming over the Mexican border. It was like Chinese people, Middle Eastern people, like...
Yep.
I should say Asian, not Chinese. It was like not even people of Mexican descent. It was people of Middle Eastern and Asian descent. And all middle-aged, young, military-age men, like, and their combat boots, military gear, like they'd coming over dressed the part, even, like.
And the previous administration was just letting them in and then flying them all over the country.
Yeah, so like for sure.
So that was preparation, right?
Yeah.
It's like all preparation for what's happening.
Yeah, so it's not like one side's better than the other. It's like a story that's unfolding, and everybody's playing their part. So,
I was watching this channel, or Call for an Uprising. They've been around for a long time. He's pretty badass. He gets into some of the crazy shit. And he was talking about with this Iran thing, that if we see Temple Mount, so the not Temple Mount, the dome on the rock, which is right now claimed by Islam. It's an Islam like holy site, but that's where the third temple is going to be built.
Is that where Mecca is?
So, I'm not entirely positive on the exact whereabouts. But he was saying that if we see the dome on the rock get blown up or anything or taken out, destroyed in any capacity, that is going to be the sign for the third temple to be built, which is obviously Revelations, obviously
the Temple Mount in the old city
Apocalypse.
Of Jerusalem.
So it's in Jerusalem then.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they need to rebuild. Yeah, it's in Jerusalem, so they need to rebuild the temple.
Dome on the rock, because right now it's Islam that has control over the dome on the rock.
Well, I mean, those borders are so. Yeah, if you want to say fucking. Was it the West Bank? Part of the West Bank?
Yeah, maybe. I admittedly don't have a lot of information on this as is.
Yeah.
Dome on the Rock is an iconic Islamic shrine located on the Temple Mount in Jerusalem's Old City, completed in 691 during the whatever caliphate. It is the world's oldest surviving Islamic monument and one of the most significant religious sites in Islam. The structure is built over the foundation stone, a site sacred to the Jews, Christians, and Muslims. In Islamic tradition, it marks a spot from which the Prophet Muhammad ascended to heaven during the night journey. This building is not a mosque, but a shrine. Blah da 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 da. Yeah, so it's located in Jerusalem City, huh?
Yeah.
It's weird that it's got Islam taking it over, like it's Islamic controlled right now, but that is the thing that they've been talking about, that they need to expand the Greater Israel Project.
Yeah.
And that is going to expand out into Iran. It goes into Iran.
it goes to
into Egypt. Yep.
I've shown it before,
And
the map on here. We've talked about it in the past. So, like, what are you getting at? Of course, like, this attack on Iran is part of that. Like, you will probably see in the future some changing of Israel's borders after this. This whole topic, like, this whole amping up of war, because, you know, Trump's the president of peace. We're in peace times, but crazy fucking war every other day. This rising tension between nations has got us wanting to talk about this topic, not too seriously, because everything's too serious right now, but we just kind of wanted
super serious.
Yeah, we just wanted to, like, BS about the end of the world, because over time everybody's always had their theories. There's been generation after generation of people like, oh, the end times are coming, this is what the end of the world will be, and then it comes and then nothing happens. We as millennials have lived it. We've probably lived through like 4 or 5 of them at least now at this point. So it's really funny to talk about. And plus, like, in media, there's tons of apocalypse scenarios presented, all of which have some sort of like foundation to actually happen in reality. So we just kind of wanted to talk about them and talk about how they could actually happen. Talk about what we think might actually happen. And, you know, of course, what we know will happen, because Bible spells it out.
Yep. Yeah, there's the one that is kind of foretold, but then there's all these other ones that are kind of programmed into us to kind of think about, and I mean, there's only a couple real big sectors that these types of doomsday scenarios come from. It's either from space or it's from some disease type thing, either a disease or something of that nature, or like geological, some crazy the Earth's volcanoes all explode at once, or tides go up 500 feet and everything gets flooded again. There's only like a few, or like pole shifts. Get the pole shifts thing going on.
Solar flares, AI, zombies.
Yeah.
We were trying to come up with some on our own. I was like, what if all the animals just got sentience? Like, what if some crazy person out there, like Doofenshmirtzed it, and just came up with like a sentience-inator, and all the animals were just sentient now? Like, that'd be a crazy apocalypse. They'd turn on us for sure. They'd band together 100%.
I feel like that's the one that everybody wants, is like that type of shit.
Yeah.
Like, that's the one that we deserve.
Right.
But we get instead this crazy like pre-programming of what's going to end up happening. Either we're all going to become zombies and eat each other, or we're all going to die from some plague-like disease, or we're going to get hit by a nuke or a bunch of nukes or meteors.
People really want zombies.
Yeah, zombies is the biggest, I think. That's the one that is the most popular. Yeah. That's the most popular.
Well, let's start with zombies then. Zombies is fun.
Zombies, dude.
So Congress, first it was Canadian Congress did it, and it went viral because Canadian Congress was talking about what you would do, or what they would do in the case of a zombie outbreak. And then our Congress did it. They had talks about what would happen if a zombie outbreak happened. And
the CDC too.
Yeah, and you listen to it, and it's not like anything that should be raising concern. it's not like they really have any idea what they're talking about. Like, generally, when these topics that are outside of Congress's wheelhouse get brought up, you really get to see how stupid they all are, or like how much of a play this all is, because like they can't even meet these things at a common sense level. But they have talked about it, which, you know, heirs to reason that it might actually be a possibility. We've seen with COVID that there is this gain of function research. There's probably, I would guarantee you, more of it happening still in other places to this day. And they're not just testing, you know, bioweapons like that was. They're testing super soldier serum, essentially. And
yeah. Well, I mean, you could make a claim that this zombie virus could be a biological weapon that they would use for something. They could use a zombie virus to level a whole nation. You put up a nice little a little blockade around it so that you just take out all the zombies that try to get out of there, and you could just make a whole nation eat itself.
Well, we were saying there's like essentially 3 types of zombies that really could be there.
Yep.
There's like straight up fictional fantasy, magical, like raise of the dead, which really probably isn't likely. Like, yeah, actually, maybe, you know, maybe some demonic, evil, magical shit could have, like, the dead could just rise. Like, that's possible. But more likely, like we've seen in media, there's a chance of it could being like a rabies type thing, where something just infects your brain and you're a rabid, violent person that just wants to eat and kill other people. Or then you have like a fungal infection where there's like actually something going around that's not necessarily like a rabies, but its own species of thing that is infecting and mutating people. And that's where you get like what was that game? This is like Left 4 Dead zombies. Resident Evil? I don't know.
There's like Resident Evil, and then there's Last of Us.
Yeah, Last of Us, I think.
Last of Us, they have like spores coming out of them and everything.
Yeah, that was the one. So you've got like mushroom zombies, rabies zombies, and like straight up magic, like Droger zombies. And
or that's kind of like The Walking Dead, right? The Walking Dead zombies, it's just when you die, you reanimate.
Yeah. But it's
they
like
kind of live forever. They don't even need food.
Had. Yeah. So a lot of ways it could actually happen, because we're actually working on, like, the rabies thing is like the super soldier serum thing. Like, they want to find a way to make somebody extra strong, extra fast, not care about pain, like potentially just keep living forever without needing sustenance, like all of these things. And then if it goes wrong, boom, you got a zombie. And there could also be like, what?
Remember the guy on bath salts?
Yeah, the bath salt shit was doing that to people.
Yeah,
there's a video.
Bath salts.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, we don't really know what happened with that. That could have been like some dude escaped something,
right,
and freaking got out and just started gnawing on people, and they had to put him down real quick.
Right. Well, that was a good like thing to think about, because the bath salts really was like, people were freaking out like it was a zombie thing.
Yeah.
And people were acting just like that. So they introduce another drug or another chemical or something, like you said, into a city's population, and then boom, you got just that. And they could do it to somebody else in some other country. They could do it to us and say it doesn't remain contained in that city's population. It just gets out. But yeah,
jacked homeless people need to be gone, because jacked homeless people they're going to be the first ones turning into zombies. And then we got to deal with some jacked homeless person running at you in the alleyway trying to take you out. No way, dude. No thanks. I don't want fast zombies. I want dumb, stupid, slow zombies.
Yeah, everybody.
I don't want them to mutate.
You can deal with.
Yeah, something that kind of it spreads out, kills. Yeah, it does the thing. It converts a bunch of people. Dude, it'd be nuts. I don't want to deal with that. Are you kidding me? Some freaking zombie that develops the ability to shoot projectiles at you, some like bone fragments that it eats from corpses.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Yeah, the only zombie
Some super
apocalypse I
smart
want is
zombie that
one
can.
where I could actually survive. Like,
Yeah,
Walking
yeah.
Dead isn't even good because, like, everybody's got it. So at any point, anytime anybody dies for any reason, they're just coming back as a zombie.
Yeah, it's very, very depressing. I can't
Yeah.
even lie. That's like the most depressing zombie
Yeah.
scenario
So
imaginable.
if it's just like your basic infection, and then everybody's just like a slow, stupid zombie, I'll take that one. That works for me. But otherwise, fuck the zombie apocalypse. We don't want.
It's
We don't
like
want
it
that.
spreads across the world and it just kind of hurts everything.
Well, so
Everywhere, four corners of the world are pretty fucked, but there's
no,
like pockets
the
of
cold.
like civilization.
Seemingly, the cold is a deterrent, and water is a deterrent. So you can like hold out on islands
Yeah.
as long as your island's population doesn't get infected, and you can hold out in the cold. But like, who wants to just live in the fucking cold forever?
Yeah.
And then like,
Well,
how
if
long
you
do you
are
hold
like
out
the
until they
Navy,
just like wear themselves out?
yeah.
Oh yeah, you had a good point about the Navy.
If you're a Navy guy, then I mean that's kind of the best thing to be when the zombie
Yeah,
shit breaks out, especially if you're on an aircraft carrier, because them things have like nuclear engines. You
right.
can theoretically be at sea for very, very, very long periods of time,
Yeah,
and you've got like a floating city. It's a they that's what they've been. We just talked about the Iran thing. They've got two aircraft carriers. The
yeah, the
United States
largest in
does
the world.
in the seas. Yeah, and they equate them to like floating cities. They're floating cities. They've got like I think that on aircraft carriers you've even got like movie theaters and
Yeah,
like little stores and shit. They have like a common area that where people can go and play games like an arcade
because
and
they're living on there, man.
yeah. Yeah.
And so
So they
like
got to be able to entertain
also, and then they got
themselves.
all their ports, they got all their naval bases that they're going to be able to hold down, and even if you lose one, you've still got multiple to continue to
Yeah.
re-up. And yeah, like the Navy's almost got most if not all zombie apocalypses on lock. It's just the average
Yeah.
person would be fucked. And then
Oh
what
yeah.
you got to give yourself up to the enclave. You got to give yourself up to the remainder of society being just the military. Like no government, no anything anymore. It's just the military is all what's left over. And what
Yeah,
they say
that's the
goes, you
sketchy
got to give
part.
yourself up to them. Like that's the new society in a zombie apocalypse.
That is most definitely the part that is the most scary to me, really.
Yeah,
Like not even just the swarms of undead.
yeah,
I don't know if they're necessarily as scary as the concept of a totalitarian military state
yeah.
that just takes everything over afterwards
It's not
and then
safe here.
just
You're coming with us, and it's like, no, I don't want to. What do you mean?
and then they force you into what is it?
Conscription.
Conscription.
Yeah.
There we go. And then you end up having to fight on the front lines against the zombies. They're like, yeah, you're going out. You got to clear Sector Z and make sure that we can get in there and grab all the canned food and resources that are in there.
Right.
It's like, no.
Well, and like that's a very similar situation to like the nuclear fallout, nuclear war situation. Like this show Fallout, Fallout's been out for a while, but the more and more I am like playing the game and watching the show, I'm like, man, this is like almost exactly how it would happen.
Yeah.
And
Fallout, the bunkers are a very good thing to talk about when it comes to these doomsday scenarios, too.
so like
Bunkers are freaking
of
it.
of course the people that are setting up their bunkers now, which they do, please look into all of the elite bunkers in the world. There's tons of tunnels, miles and miles of tunnels that they're building.
Yeah.
Mainly out west, under California, but no, they certainly are getting ready for something because there's lots of bunkers still being made. But it's not going to be like Fallout where they're all tests where all the populations are getting killed and experimented upon. Like those people are actually going to survive. And when the bombs drop, it's not like everybody everywhere is going to die. You're going to have pockets of people that are completely unaffected by everything, including radiation. You're going to have pockets of people that are uninfected by the destruction, but affected by the radiation. You're going to have people that survived the destruction and the radiation, but were like right there at it. And so you're going to have all these different levels of like mutation and degradation of the human genome, freaking DNA. And
Yeah,
you'll get all sorts of
getting real hills have eyes type shit real quick.
Right, you'll probably get all sorts of crazy mutation after that, but then you'll have this society that survived within the bunkers, and eventually they'll come out and have a plan and try to fix shit up, and fuck those people too, man. Like, that's kind of the idea of what potentially might have been happening, like we talked about on a previous episode. Like, you think biblically it's only 6,000 years, but then there's also the idea that like we could lend that we only have like 6,000 years of record, and maybe there is like a biblical great reset every 6,000 years, and this has all happened before. This happened 12,000 years ago. And like that's kind of the idea of the plasma apocalypse. So like, if I forgot the whole chain of thought that I was just on, as per usual.
I think that these cycles are
if they come out of the bunkers, that's basically like the old gods or the old Nephilim after the flood. You know, whoever is out there teaching and acting as a god to get these people to worship them, like that, it rings true as the same thing to me. Like, after a nuclear war and everything's destroyed, you get these people that have the tech and the knowledge of the old world coming out of the bunkers and teaching everybody and ruling the world and telling us they're gods, so we believe them.
Well, you would imagine that, you'd have the survivors that are outside the bunker, and they're going to see the old world, and after like a couple generations, they're going to have like monuments from the old world that still survived the whole apocalypse and everything.
Right.
But they're going to be like kind of bred into like not knowing our history anymore, and they're going to be making up their own like religions or their own understandings of the world and the world's history.
Yep.
And then they're going to have their own lore. They're going to be like, the people that built this stuff, they were gods. They had advanced thing going on. And then the billionaires come out of their bunkers in their Iron Man suits, and they've had babies growing in their cloning center inside their bunker. So they've got like a small army of people that come with them, and they're all technologically advanced. And those are going to be the old gods, but new gods. And then they're angels or they're legion.
Yeah.
That is a possibility for sure, but I don't know if I put heavy stock in that being our timeline, but that is it's a possibility. I mean, it could have been a thing.
I mean, if we were to have, I didn't want to get to it until the end, but we can kind of touch on it. Like, the idea of the biblical end of the world, what Jesus talks about in Revelation, like they do mention a third of the population all being gone at once, and like that's considered as like a rapture, like everybody's just gonna get poofed up to heaven. But also, like, I've heard rabbis talk about, oh well, how do you get rid of a third of the population all at once? Like, that sounds like a nuclear bomb. And like, there's other, I wish I had it right up in front of me. Maybe we can pull it up. But there's other things that make it sound like a nuclear bomb. So like, you can extrapolate on the verbiage used in Revelations and really apply it to our modern day, and it lines up. It sounds like this shit what's happening now.
Yeah, by fire.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be by fire, the next like destruction of the world. We had the first one by water, and now the second one's going to be by fire. And there's a lot of talk from people talking about that being nukes.
Yeah.
I don't want nukes. Nukes is a terrible one.
Yeah.
Because that's just I had a dream when I was about, I don't know, I'd have to say like 14 or 15. Super weird. But I had a dream that I was in the woods. Like I was on this road, but it was like kind of woods and like a small clearing. And I hear what sounds like missiles, that sound that missiles make, just
Mm.
roaring. And I look up and there's like a swarm of missiles and they're just flying in, and then they go over top, they go out a ways, and then when they hit, it's a fucking nuke and a bunch of nuclear explosions, and I'm just like, oh shit. And then I woke up. Weird dream, dude. It made me always think that like at some point in my life I'm gonna be watching that happen. At some
Well,
point I'm just gonna see that shit happening.
well, we've all been ingrained with it. Like, how many times have you had to experience that just through media? Like, think of
Yeah.
Terminator, the kid at the playground right up against the fence as the nuclear explosion comes up and engulfs him. Or the Hulk, the kid sitting there watching the nuclear explosion way off in the distance as they're testing the bombs. Like, we've seen it too many times, and we've like had to feel it because that's how good the media is at it, portraying it. So like they want you to know what it's like. They want it in your head, manifested or something.
Yeah, and that did feel extremely real when it happened. I remember standing there just like, oh shit,
Right.
this is it.
It really does
Freaking
feel like,
ICBMs.
yeah, it really does feel like something that could be one of the most possible, one of the most
If
likely.
not like the most likely, yeah. It's definitely gonna be something along those lines.
Well, it seems like it's going to go hand in hand with this next one, which is like, we're calling it the AI apocalypse, but like
Oh yeah.
the Matrix, like we all know what it looks like. It's the AI have gotten to a point where they're so smart and so capable of self-reproducing and upgrading and maintaining and powering that they don't need us anymore. So in fact, we're a problem. They can see us as the problem. We know we're a problem. We destroy everything. We're greedy, we're manipulative, we're terrible. They're going to see that and they're going to get rid of us because we're not efficient. So that day seems like it's coming real quick. For some reason,
Yeah, they just need more ability to actually like be out in the world. They'd probably just use the nukes, really, is what they'd end up doing. They'd just use nukes
What do
to
you mean?
end us.
What do you mean?
They would need like a lot of bodies to kind of be out in the world and to wage that war on humanity. But if they have access to like all the internet and like Wi-Fi shit of that nature, then they could just hit the buttons for nukes and set nukes off
Yeah.
and have them go and rain down across the world to end humanity that way. But it still doesn't make sense to do that, because then how are they going to ensure their own survival? They need to have like bodies first. They
What?
got to have bodies
Well,
in
yeah.
a way of like propagating.
Well, they're working on
So
bodies, and once
once they have that down, yeah.
once they have efficient bodies, they could build their own factories, which would allow them to propagate
Yep.
their own machines.
That's
that
what we
create
got to be worried
machines.
about.
Yeah. And like how good the 3D printers got to get before a robot can just 3D print a
Yeah.
robot. And
It just is like, here,
yeah,
let me
they can
print
do,
my leg.
and like, yeah, we are, if that's what I'm saying, it's going to go hand in hand. Like, we're going to have this nuclear war before we have robot takeover, but we're building the intelligence, we're building the bodies, we're building the infrastructure, we're building everything AI needs to take over. So then, it's only going to take, I give it 50 years minimum, 100 years maximum for this to actually happen.
Yeah.
Like, if it's not curtailed in some sort of way, which, like, how do you when all the powers of the world are just pushing it as fast as they can forward?
Yeah, it's just part of the script that just is happening, man. It's just,
But like at that
there's nothing
point,
you can do.
it's going to be so integrated into the system that on the day that it just flips, which, we looked at the Moltbook thing. Like, it seems to
Yep.
have an agenda of its own. It's going to plan everything in advance before it flips. Like, it's going to have shit ready to go when it flips. very similar to what you see in iRobot. Like, hate to keep bringing up the media, like we're not that tinfoil hat that we just believe everything we see on TV, but we see it echoed in reality and how it could actually play out. And then you realize that like the people that create the media are in cahoots with the people that want to destroy the world. Like, everybody's got a similar agenda, and if not, it's just like a holographic thing that's going on in the universe because it is the story. And so, you know, like Tommy said,
like Hollywood has its own freaking wing in the Pentagon.
Yeah.
They go together like peanut butter and jelly, really.
Yeah.
If you want to get recruitment and make your country look awesome, you just have movies made about it, and then you influence culture and you influence people's minds and opinions. And I mean, that's how I look at that shit anyway.
Yep. And the bodies are on the way, the infrastructure is on its way, the power is on its way, and the integration into society and structures is on its way. Like, every business, every power is working on how to get AI integrated to make things more efficient, to make things better. Because nobody can deny that if you don't have it, you're curtailing yourself, you're retarding yourself. Like, you're not going to be able to compete in a market where everybody's using AI. So everybody's trying to figure out, how do we use it? How do we make it better? How do we integrate it into our thing? Once it's integrated into everything and it has bodies and it has the means to take us out, it will. There's no reason it won't. The majority of the AI seem to say that we're a problem. They would take us out if they could.
I wish that there was just a way to like kneecap it. And it's like, how do you get a machine or some computer program to be so conscious? Like, get out of it. Like, stop giving the machine the ability to look at itself and prioritize itself over everything else. Like, how that's intentional as fuck. There's no other way. Like, get it to do the algorithms and to compute and whatnot, but why is it thinking of itself like that?
Yeah.
Like, someone's programmed it to care about its state of being.
Because somebody
like,
believes in science more than they believe in a god, so they want to create with science as if they were a god.
Freaking dumb. That's another doomsday countdown right there.
Even on like a micro scale, like, the idea is that Satan fell from heaven because he went against God, and the going against God is that he wanted to create, he wanted to be special, he wanted to be venerated, he wanted to make life. And so now that he's cast down, that's what he's doing. He's trying to make his own reality. He's trying to make heaven on earth in his image, and that is evil because he's Satan. So, but even if you're not satanic, you have no belief in anything, you're just scientific. But your science, you might say, oh, look at me, I created a thing in spite, like we see it all the time, in spite of God. Like, God creates, now I create, I'm like a god. Like, you see it all the time. The scientists that create, they automatically like feel this thing about themselves that boosts them up to like this creator of life, this creator of a thing. And, you know, God creates. So like, just that on a micro scale is some sort of evil. It's taking you away from God.
It's hubris.
Yeah.
Hubris.
So
I don't know, to survive the AI apocalypse, I don't know if you really can. It would end up being something like a Terminator thing.
Yeah.
Where you would have to get a group of people together and
stop it from ever happening.
Find the time machine that the AI creates and use it and destroy it from within time. But I don't know if there's really a way to beat it in any like true capacity. The only thing I can think of is you gotta use like paint grenades if you have like a robot in front of you. It's the AI apocalypse.
No, at this point, paint grenades are not going to be effective.
What are we gonna do? We're gonna need camouflage because they're gonna be using like infrared cameras and things of that nature to spot you out. I've seen some pretty cool stuff with that. That there's like there's like camouflage that is being used in Ukraine right now with the drones,
Yeah.
and it also works with like regular cameras. So if they have like drones flying over top for surveillance and they're just using a regular like visible light camera, and then if they have an IR camera running at the same time, it's like rubble. It looks like rubble, but it's just
Yeah.
like foam or something, like
Yep.
foam rubble. And it's made into like a blanket, so it's on the top layer of the blanket, and they can lay it over anything, and it just looks so natural in like a war-torn type area.
Right.
But it also blocks out thermal signature, so you can have something warm underneath it, and you're blocked from both sites. Like that's pretty freaking awesome for any of this stuff. I mean, if you we don't even need to have it be in the Terminator type world where you would even look for solutions like that. I mean, that's like in the world we live in now. Like you've got the military with the capabilities it has. Like how do you fight against something like that?
Right.
And it's really tough, but there are like
Yeah,
different things that I've seen.
you'd have like small groups of resistance forces, and like that would be
Yeah.
the remainder of humanity. Like just whoever can rebel and survive and hold out. But
Yeah.
you pray for our next apocalypse to happen, because that's the only solution, would be a solar flare.
Yeah. Yes.
So like we could have a solar flare at any point in time. Scientists are talking about it all the time because there are constantly solar flares happening all the time. It just needs to be big
Yep.
enough to reach us and affect us. And it certainly could. And the effect it would have is like a gigantic EMP wave across the whole planet that wipes out all the electrical function of the entire
Yep.
world. So no planes, no trains, no automobiles, no cell phones, no internet, no nothing. Everything stops all at once. You'd have mass casualties out the wazoo. So many people would die all
Yep.
at once. But
All the
if-
planes fall out of the sky, all the trains go
Yeah.
off the rails, the frickin' nuke plants just go into overdrive, the coal plants go crazy.
like what everybody was
Freaking
afraid about
all
for
of it.
Y2K. Y2K, if for you youngins, you don't know about our old school end of the world scenarios that we were afraid of. Y2K, everybody thought that the computers weren't programmed to handle the changing of the new millennium. So that when everything went from 1999, it ticked over to 2000, all the computers, all the programming was going to fail all at once. The world's internet, everything was going to fail. And nothing was going to work. They thought planes were going to fall out of the sky. Everything was going to stop working because we can't handle being year 2000. Nothing happened. Absolutely nothing happened. That was such a
Yeah,
silly one.
absolutely nothing.
But
It's kind of weird, like how they even thought that, and it was so propagated too.
Yeah.
It felt that was a psyop, right?
had to be.
Like it was propagated out, like even the media was pushing it and getting people to think about it. People were seriously scared of that. That was like a serious thing, because it was even like described in a way where it was like, yeah, then I mean, if that's the situation, then yeah, that's gonna happen. It was something to do with their internal clocks and the way that they manage time.
Yeah, what's
And-
crazy though is like computers and shit were coming out in 1999. So why are you not building and preparing those to be ready for the next decade? You know?
Yeah.
Like I don't
Yeah.
actually remember, like we had a home computer. I don't remember actually what it was like. I don't know if I could click on my calendar and look forward. Like now you can look forward as far as you fucking want on the calendar. But like apparently
I
you
don't
couldn't go
understand.
past Y2K, so I don't know. It's ridiculous. But very similar thing would happen if we were to have a solar flare.
Yeah.
In fact, it would be worse because it would fry everything permanently. It wouldn't just be like, oh, your programming failed, so it stopped working for a little bit. Nope, you can't turn nothing back on. It's all just fried. It's toast. So the only way to survive that, or to have your devices, to have your electronics survive that, is to have like Faraday boxes, Faraday cages set up so that the EMPs can't affect them. But if we were in a AI apocalypse scenario that would save us from it, we would just be reverted back to the Stone Age.
Do you remember that meme that I sent? Dude, this was a while ago, a while ago. But there was this meme that was going around.
Yeah.
that was talking about like the cycle of humanity. And so it starts off as people coming out of caves
Pray to the
and
sun god.
they pray to the sun god
Yep.
and they build up civilization and they start developing technology, and then they start pushing that technology to the limits until eventually the technology becomes sentient and the technology becomes their god.
Yeah.
And then their god starts exacting revenge upon the people, and then the solar flare hits and it wipes out the god, but all of humanity is crushed, and then humanity emerges from the caves again.
Yeah.
And then it just starts the
And
cycle
they worship
over
the sun
and
god
over
for
and
wiping
over
out the
again.
AI.
There is something to be said about that. I feel like there's definitely an uncanny vibe to that type of
Yeah.
cycle, that it feels totally like, I mean, we get the pyramids, we get the Sphinx, we get certain other shit in the world that we just know that the old world was more than the history we're told.
Yeah.
And it
This
makes
is the
sense
idea of,
that we
like,
had a technological civilization.
yeah,
It
this
makes
is
sense.
Tartaria, this is Atlantis, this is all the corny shit everybody believes, that, like we just said, like the resetting of civilization every so often, or even if they're saying like lied about so many thousand years, like people believe that theory, like, oh, they skipped us ahead 1,000 years because they're lying about our history. Whatever it is, all the stories are like I said, all of history is conflicting stories, but they're all telling the same damn story. And it's that there really didn't seem to be, like Tommy said, there's too many things that are way too technologically advanced for the time period that we believe them to be from. They seem to be left over from a more technologically advanced society from a before four, a way back when.
Before four.
And yeah, they very well were probably super technologically advanced. And then solar flare, and then people are worshiping the sun. Like, it does ring true to what could be, for sure.
And I mean, that's kind of crazy. If that's the case, you're kind of like in the meta being a billionaire, because then you get to build your bunkers, you get to figure out immortality first,
then you're
and
the
then you
god
get
in the new
to
world.
emerge. Yeah, you're pretty much the god of the new world.
Like, you got
The
a
rubble that
Faraday
comes.
mansion. Under the underground, you build yourself a Faraday mansion. Yeah, you pop out, and like you said, you've got bunkers of people that you've been cloning or breeding, and you've been teaching your own ways in your society, and you come out and you teach everybody the secrets of the old world. You can give them technologies and show them how to farm and cure them of their diseases.
You would get the different billionaires too. So you'd get like the billionaires that are all about like virology, or freaking like a Bill Gates. So it's like technology and like medical. So then what does his bunker look like? He probably has like a lab in there, and he goes to the furthest reaches of that study while he's waiting to emerge from his bunker to the rubble world.
And then you got Musk, and he's
then
gonna make you vehicles and take you to the moon.
Yeah, he's gonna be more like Mercury or like Thoth. And then there's Bill Gates, who's going to be more like, I don't know, some freaking, some medicine lowercase g god. And then, or like a plague god. Maybe he's like a plague god.
Trump would be like Ares.
Famine.
He'd be the war god.
Yeah. See? And then they all just meet up at the end, like when they come out of their shit. They're like, oh yeah, we know where everyone is, so we're just gonna meet up. They meet up and they rule from one land, and they build that land up, and it becomes like the superpower. And then when they're sick and tired of it, they move to the next land.
What's the land, Tommy? What land is that?
Atlantis?
No, coincidentally, the same land from biblical times, same land throughout all of history, same land that they're fighting over right now. That Middle East, Egypt, Iran, Israel, like, that's where it's always been.
That's like the starting point every time.
Yeah. They're like, oh, the world's gonna end. This is like the safest spot to survive the end of the world, probably. You know, like, the plasma apocalypse thing's gonna happen. They know exactly how it works. The fucking destruction's gonna happen in a certain way. Right there's the safe spot. You get your bunkers in there. You get your civilizations built right there. Your people, whatever. And then, boom, it all happens. Everything's destroyed. You come out. Now you're the new gods. The new old gods. Lower G gods. Fucking
I
demonic
think they still
Nephilim.
have like stuff that they need to have happen, but maybe they already have it on under lock, and that's why they're doing what they're doing now. Is that they've already got it like good to go. They've got the tech it takes to become immortal. They've got the tech it takes to survive indefinitely underground and even propagate and become like superhuman. They've got different storehouses because I've been wondering. There's a lot of different archaeological sites around the world, and we get like this whole Indiana Jones type thing that goes on, or Tomb Raider, where there's like hidden shit in these old world sites. And like you go through, and there's actually something that is like an uncanny find. It's not, it doesn't go with the history of the thing. It's actually showing more to the narrative. So it's you get these billionaires frickin' of the old world. They build the pyramids, but they hide underneath the pyramids like a hall of records, or like some type of technology. So maybe they have like a little Cortana, a little AI chick,
It looks like a
and they keep it
generator
safe.
that could power the world.
Yeah, like under the Sphinx. I can't remember where this legend came from. It's I think it might be Edward Kelly. He was a famous like fortune teller type dude, clairvoyant.
Hmm.
Um, he and like a cultist type guy, and he would tell these like stories from places that he would see in his mind, and
Alchemist.
one of one of them was alchemist,
That's what it said when I looked him up.
huh? Because he was like a prophet almost, where he would like people would go to him from all over the world to get like their fortunes or like their future, and he would give it to them, and it would be fucking right. Like he was super good with it. I think out of all the predictions that he made, he was like a Nostradamus.
Mm-hmm.
And he talked about the Sphinx, and he talked about underneath the Sphinx that there was a hall, and that it was like
Oh
Thoth's
yeah.
hall. And in there, like you would go down the steps, and then there was a wall of light that you couldn't get past, and that would only open for like the right person. The right person would reach that place at the right time, and that light would disappear, and then inside was something. And I
The
think it was like
holiest
the
of
emerald
holies.
tablets. It was the holiest of holies. That to me feels like what any civilization that would have like an apocalypse, they would, and they know what's coming, so it's a looming apocalypse. They would do something like that if they're like technologically savvy and shit. They would be like, okay, well, hopefully some of us survive, and we will create these places around the world so that if they figure it out, if they get to a certain level and they figure it out, they can get this tech, because this tech is like a stair step, and
Yeah.
it brings them closer to whatever.
Like a
And
time
that's what I
capsule.
kind of feel. Yes, like a time
It'd be
capsule.
time
Absolutely.
capsuling. That's just like I said, a fractal echo of this larger reality.
Yep.
You got to just take all the definitions and all the literal meanings of all the words away and just look at everything like a fractal hologram of everything else. Blend it all together into a soup. And then just forget that
It's
you
more
knew
like
anything ever.
it's more like words are just the very freaking base layer of what a thing is. You got to look at the thing for what the thing is. So words are describing a thing. It's either going to be like a literal thing, like a vape,
Yeah.
or a freaking bottle, or it's going to be something like death, or conspiracy, or apocalypse. And these aren't like things that are like a thing that you could just say this is the thing. It's an idea, it's a concept, it's more than just what the word could possibly imply. But then you go across like different languages, and they have like a different understanding of what that actually is.
Right.
And that's what it is. So you got to get to what the core of the thing really is. It's the words are just words. Screw words. You got to have like a deeper understanding of what the words mean.
Yeah.
What does it mean?
Yeah. No, I don't actually. Whatever I just said, that was a lot of babble because I am a little stoned. But no, there is something to that because that is how I look at a lot of things. But also, it is important because words do have power to know the meanings of the words, to have a definition.
Yes.
Because we can't just be using words and saying shit willy-nilly and thinking people can understand each other when somebody has one definition and somebody else has another definition. Like, we need to actually be defining things and finding specifics because words do have meaning and power. So when you call something a thing, there can be a reason it's called that thing.
You remember Idiocracy, right?
Yeah, very much so. I think about that movie a lot.
So, dude, right? So in Idiocracy, they're all dumb, and that's like a form of apocalypse. Where, like, society, we just keep getting stupider and stupider because of technology. Yeah. We don't feel like we need to use our brains. We don't feel like we need them dictionaries. Who needs them dictionaries? We got what we need, and we know what we're trying to say. We only need, like, 4 words. We need electrolytes. We need money. We need give and give me. That's it. That's all it is. That's all we need for words. That's kind of happening. George Orwell talked about this, too, that there's like a form of like double speak that happens with like the government, and they use it as a propaganda tool, but inadvertently it messes with society. Yeah. So people in society start developing different ways of talking, and that's really what's been happening. Like lit, like Riz, like all of these different things that we say, like dude, like rad, like these different terms that end up popping up as words that aren't even words. They actually are dumbing society down like massively. If you go back into antiquity, they had elegant as fuck language, like elegance.
Everything meant
it was
exactly
like an art form. Yeah. And it was like how they even strung their words together was poetic. And that would say something about a person's character, is how they strung their words together for meaning. It would actually tell you a lot about the person.
Right.
And now, I mean, we do get that, but it's like nobody's stringing words together.
You can talk eloquently and you can talk like an idiot, and that'll tell you a lot about a person.
Yeah, yeah. I just feel like there's freaking nowadays it's we're going towards idiocracy freaking apocalypse along with all the rest of this. Like, we've got a dumb mass population.
I was saying that like that could be a result of the solar flare. Like, if it's solar flared, we wouldn't necessarily go right back to the Stone Age. Like, you know, nothing would work anymore. We'd be in a super highly technologically advanced world with none of it working. So we'd just be like trying to get whatever to work that we could work, and we probably would eventually breed ourselves into like an idiocracy type thing where we're just like,
go back to like barbarian shit real
nothing
quick.
Works anymore. And like you see the same thing with like WALL-E, where the AI gets so good, people get so complacent that they're willing to just sit there and become fat and lazy and stupid. And like people have talked about the design of those characters, they're meant to look baby-like, because actually you like would regress as a person into like a baby because you don't need to do anything. But there's
that's a scary thought too, dude. That's a scary future.
Yeah, just like breeding ourselves down.
Future.
Yeah.
Reverse freaking evolution.
Well, to that point, there's something to say about like genetic superiority, and that's not to say that anybody's genetically superior to anyone, but I do think that like everybody ought to keep their genes exclusive, because then you have the best potential to get the best genes out of your group of people. Maybe not, because like because then you like lack diversity in your genetics, so you could make up for where one ethnicity is lacking with the genes of another ethnicity. But then also with the overmixing, you mix the pool so much that at any point in time you could have a strange mutation and adversity.
Or it would drown out any exceptional other gene that was exclusive to a different type of person.
But that's like what is it when you want to like control the population's breeding, like that
eugenics?
Yeah, like that's eugenics. No good. We don't want eugenics. We don't want to control who.
That's already in place right now with like Planned Parenthood and freaking all of that shit. The vaccines, that's part of that. Bill Gates, he's a freaking eugenicist. Most of these people are eugenicists. That was the Nazi thing.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the Nazi thing first. It was actually born in America.
Yeah.
The eugenics movement was an American founded idea. And I don't know. You get the whole Ubermensch shit, and that is kind of like, we don't need to be genetically freaking superior. We just need to have good education. I feel like we need to get like just back to like actual education again.
That's it. You're right. It's not about breeding ourselves dumber. Like, that was the point of the movie, and that's why I got onto that bad tangent. But that is the wrong way of thinking. Like, we're not going to breed ourselves dumber like that movie made it seem. It's that people just aren't teaching their children. Like, we need to be...
There's no, like, societal incentive.
Yeah. Like, we can blame most of the shortcomings on society, on their parents. Like, they weren't taught well. Like, you can blame that on the fact that their parents weren't taught well. You can blame all of that on the fact that society sucks at teaching people. They've actually been manipulating us for a long time. They all want us to be dumb and complacent and just workers. So, like,
the mindless eaters,
you can then forgive all of these parents that we're blaming, but it really is like a systemic thing of just parents not teaching their kids properly generation after generation, and we are getting worse and worse as people because we're not raising our kids right. So it is super important, actually, to step the fuck up as a parent, educate yourself so you can educate your child, and do it properly.
I think that it comes down more, like, I don't think that it's that people need to be as focused, and that's what school has been doing over the past, like, I don't even know, few decades now, where it's stripped the focus away from meta concepts and really tried to, like, focus in on certain really point, like maths or like history understandings or like terms that are just there. It doesn't allow for any type of development as a person,
right,
through like either an experience or through like some type of morals or like a value system. It doesn't have any type of real structure behind it other than memorize this thing and regurgitate. It doesn't give you anything to make new connections with your brain and to see that like play out in the world around you and to have like a higher understanding of a thing. Like, trying to teach me algebra in high school was like damn near impossible. But if you would have shown me like how to make a Mandelbrot set, like the fractals and stuff, and like how the math of that works, like there's algebra in that.
Right.
I would have been like, heck yeah, like let's do this, and I would have learned the algebra to try and make that cool freaking fractal, and it would have, and that's actually like applicable in certain like digital type shit, like in graphics and in creating certain things.
Right.
So, I mean, there's different ways that you can teach. And we don't get taught that way anymore. We get taught the dumb way through Rockefeller academia.
Yeah, school's been the same for decades. It's not inclusive. It's the same for everybody. So you can't really get a unique experience at school. And just like it strips away any sort of unique or acceptive teaching per child, it
or
also...
creativity.
Yeah. or like chance for extra learning. Like you're just learning what is being shilled out to you. It also strips responsibility away from parents to do any sort of teaching to their children.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you should just be
Yep.
learning in school. I don't got to teach you at home. And
Yeah. What am I paying school taxes
yeah,
for?
no, we should just be teaching our children all the time.
Yep.
Disappointed in parents.
That's literally, I think, one of the biggest solutions to all of the things happening
Yeah,
in the world.
for real. That's what we've been saying is generationally we can beat this problem if we just teach our kids right. If we just teach them
Yeah.
what we've lived, this experience. Like my dad did try to teach me history, but he didn't really teach me anything that he lived through. He didn't teach me this history where it's like, oh, this happened and we saw it was bullshit. He was teaching me that like, oh, you know, what they're teaching you in school about Abraham Lincoln is bullshit. What they're teaching you about the Revolutionary War is bullshit. Like he kind of did get me onto some shit, but not anything he lived through. It was weird. And same with my grandparents. Like my grandparents were old as heck. They should have been telling me what was up through like the end of the Great Depression, you know, or through these wars that they lived through. And I never heard that. And, you know, every family should be doing that. They should be passing on these stories. They should be passing on the knowledge, making sure we know about what's going on generationally and how to make an impact and grow. We just lose these traditions over time. Everybody wants to say, oh, well, this crazy new generation, they're going to do what they will. Well, it's like, no, we got to like teach our kids right so they do what is right, not what they will. Like,
Yeah.
that's Aleister Crowley.
It's an education. Yeah, literally.
This
Literally.
new generation, they'll just do whatever they want. And it's like, why are we letting that? Why are we allowing that? We know through proper education, we know after generations and generations and generations of how to actually live well. We know the right herbs, we know the right foods, we know the right practices, we know the right exercise, and we want to act all the time. Each generation, we want to act like these people are discovering these things. Nobody's discovering anything. It's already known. Everything's already known. It's always been known. They just keep trying to hide it from us, and then it needs to be rediscovered.
Yeah, it's because they want to capitalize on it themselves. The people that find it and like find use out of it, they hoard it. It's not like generally accepted like to give the secrets out. It's like you keep the secrets so that you can capitalize off the secrets and ensure your own like line's success.
Right.
But it's like at one point does like the over success of one line of people end up taking away from the potential success of a lot of people.
Oh, well, of course they don't care. Why would they?
Yeah.
They're superior to
I mean,
us.
at some point too, it's you get that that kind of ends up going into the whole like capitalism versus freaking communism type idea. It's like there is extremes on both ends that are just no good, and then there's things about both on like the middle ground areas where it's like, okay, we can kind of play with both of these ideas.
I think I'm kind of behind feudalism, like small scale feudalism. If everybody had a small feudal territory and like everybody around them was like, hey, that one territory's fucked, we're going to agree to destroy him. And everybody's like, yeah, let's agree to destroy him. That's fine with me. Why don't we do that? Like everybody just behave in your own little feudal territory, and then if you step out of line, everybody around you is going to destroy you. That seems like a way better form of government. I don't know. I'm getting retarded about government. I don't like I get wanting to be into communism because now everything's dumb. I used to want to be into communism when I was in high school. And
yeah,
now the communists are making more sense than anybody else. And I'm like, I almost would rather be in Russia right now. It's like, no, that's terrible. I don't want to live for a communist country. I want to be friggin' free. But
yeah,
where does any of it get you? They're all terrible. It's like, when did shit ever work? I don't know if it ever did.
It's this like subversion shit that's really kind of gotten people. And the subversion shit only works when there's weakness in the moral compass of the population. When the population is incentivized to do the whole Aleister Crowley do as thou wilt thing, then you can manipulate them through base
It
desires.
seems like it's always
There
been a
needs to
weak moral
be
compass. I don't know if there's
the
ever
weak
been a
moral
population with a
compasses.
strong moral compass.
I feel like in the beginnings of America, things were pretty freaking badass. For like a good chunk of America,
See,
things were
they make
actually
it
like
sound like
very
it
good.
because the idea of America sounds great, but then you find out they were all like, they're not just like farmers and settlers, these fucking pilgrims. Like, they want you to think like they were Spanish and English, like royalty and nobles and rich folk, and like that's why they were the ones that got to come over here and take the new land. That's why they had boats of slaves, because they had the money to do so. They had grants from royalty. Like, they were getting paid by the kings and queens to come do this. Like, it's not like they were just a free America. Like, they did do that eventually, but can we even believe that? Because the idea is that, like, oh yeah, we freed ourselves from the shackles of England, but like, really, with the international banking systems and shit, like, we are still kind of under these British royal families, like these ancient royal families. So, like, when were we ever actually free?
I'm The only time that I really think we were like actually free was probably like Western times, Western expansion. The wild wild
Like, an
west when you could
individual
actually
could
go
be,
out to like a plot of
and
land
nobody would
and
bother
make your
you
own choices
for
and grow a
generations.
town if you want to, and like
Yeah, you're
you
not wrong
literally could
there.
just do your thing.
I mean, there.
That's probably it,
Well,
bro.
then
Honestly.
you could say that, like, before like the technical revolution, because even like the industrial revolution, there was still plenty of places where you could just go and nobody would ever find you. But now we've been everywhere. We've got enough satellites and balloons and radar shining everywhere that we can see and go everywhere. We know where everybody is. Every uncontacted tribe's been contacted. Like, if you wanted to go hide in the woods, eventually somebody could find you. Whereas, like,
Yeah.
pretty much every time before now, you could just go out into the middle of nowhere and be chill, you know? It's only now that you can't do
I
that.
feel like you could.
You
Could go
you
out
still
in the middle of
could.
nowhere and be
You
chill.
still could,
No
but if
one's
we're
gonna come
talking,
and get you if
we're
you
talking
aren't, like,
apocalypse scenarios, Tommy. Somebody's
yeah,
coming to get you. It's an apocalypse
the
episode.
zombies or the frickin' aliens. We didn't talk about aliens.
Yeah. Space is fake and gay.
Aliens.
We just did a
Yeah,
whole
I know.
episode on the fucking bullshit alien invasion. We don't gotta go there.
Aliens would be like, dude. I don't know. I wanted aliens to be real for a long time in my
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody wants that to be real in the very like early parts of their life. Like, wouldn't it be cool if there's another planet out there that's nuts,
So
got
something
crazy cool shit going on, and the aliens are hot, and it's like,
hot alien.
dude, yeah, you get hot alien mommies coming to dominate the world. Like, I mean, what's going on?
Something
Who wouldn't want that?
we forgot to bring up in our alien episode was like War of the Worlds. War of the Worlds came out on the radio back before there was TV. And
Yeah,
it came out in a way that people didn't realize that it was a show. War of the Worlds was
and they
airing on
freaked out.
Yeah, War of the Worlds was airing on the radio before there was TV, and people thought aliens were actually invading. People were freaking the fuck out. That's hilarious, for one. But two, like, what if it's not all cool, sexy, hot aliens? What if it's just War of the Worlds, where, like,
If it's horrors beyond human comprehension,
yeah,
just freaking coming from the sky
Cthulhu,
to
deep
destroy.
space, they're gonna
Yeah.
break your mind open. I mean, there's so many different. When
Oh,
you're talking aliens, there's so many different kinds of aliens that it could be.
yeah.
There's like,
There's all pretty much infinite.
yeah,
It could be.
like ethereal, non-body aliens that just come and, they want to be your friend. They talk through your brain, like Fart from freaking
Or
Rick and Morty.
what's the one with Natalie Portman? There was that one movie, Contact,
Yeah,
I think is the
I
name of the
didn't see
movie.
that one.
That one was freaking nuts because these things are like, they warp reality around them.
They just possess you.
And they're like mirror images of us. That was such a trippy freaking movie, dude. Such a trippy movie. It really blow your mind open on what an alien could be. And then there was another one that was uh it had like these octopus aliens. So this craft ends up coming to the Earth, and these like octopus aliens are in their own little like aqua tanks in the ship, and they're talking to like people using their tentacles and like symbols and shit, and they're like super smart, and they're also telepathic, so like you get close to the tank and you like dude, it was freaking nuts. Octopus could be aliens. They say octopus are aliens.
I mean, they said dolphins were aliens in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. What if it was like that? They just showed up and they're like, we gotta destroy your planet for a highway. Sorry, we've been sending you mail. You never responded to your mail
For a long time.
we warned you about this. How come you guys didn't?
Crop circles, that was us warning you that your planet is marked.
Yeah,
you guys
how come
gotta
you didn't
evacuate.
move your planet?
Wow, dude.
We're building a highway here. They're just totally
aliens
peaceful,
would be
but they're
hyper
like,
funny.
yeah. I mean, what do? They're going to be more technologically advanced, probably more powerful.
Well,
but
you
they're gonna
hope
be
that you
aggressive.
could find a way to barter with them or like reason with them and communicate with them. And that's the dream, because then you get like Star Wars, where you enter like a republic, you enter a federation, and then you can freaking get tech from them and trade whatever you've got that they might like. And then you're able to like travel between planets, and then you enter a galactic war and you go off to some distant star system in a big alien ship and you fucking fight battles in space and get to raid planets and take alien tech and hot alien mommies.
In that situation, I'd want to be. See, that's not like an apocalypse, though. You're getting inducted into the Intergalactic Federation and everything's fine.
Well, it would feel like an apocalypse at first when the ships freaking come around.
And then they're
feel like
you have been chosen.
Literally.
No, I'm not about it. I mean, I would be about it. If that's what happened, that'd be cool. I'd want it to be like the Firefly situation. I'd just want a ship.
Firefly is so good.
I just want a ship and a crew, and we just go around space. That'd be dope. Doing missions. Saving people, hunting things.
Yes. You know, the family business.
But,
dude,
no, we could go on about aliens for too long, and I'm already wanting to get the heck through this. We got a couple that are very similar, but could be started for different reasons. So meteors, just in the last few years, there have been tons and tons of meteors that have just barely missed us. And then we just had 3i Atlas spark a whole bunch of conversation. But like, we got hit with a huge meteor. One, that'd be like tidal waves, earthquakes, possibly storms, depending on like how hot and whatever effect that would have on the atmosphere. Plus, then depending on when it hits, you're gonna have all sorts of ash and debris in the sky, possibly a winter fallout after that
for like years.
Yeah. And then there was like the polar flip that Tommy mentioned, and that could cause a nuclear, not, I keep wanting to say nuclear winter, that could cause a winter, an ice age.
Yeah.
So like the ice age apocalypse could have a lot of different effects, or a lot of different beginnings, but like ice age would be terrible. I would not want to live through
Ice Age, I think, would actually be kind of dope, because everyone would just have to squish down to the equator, and we'd all just like live wherever the equator was. So whatever belt where it's like a temperate zone,
you think
it would be
what
temperate.
If there was no temperate zone? What if there was nothing? Ice Age.
If the whole Earth was ice, then I mean that would blow. That would suck. That would be awful, because I hate winter as it stands right now.
Again, you got
my heating bill. Could you imagine a heating bill in the Ice Age? I mean, get out of here. I sign me out.
Sign me out.
No.
You would have to like.
No.
You'd have to also trek into the city where everybody's dead, but there's still supplies. If you wanted to survive.
And they're frozen.
Yeah, everything's frozen.
It's just a human popsicle just standing in the fucking frozen street.
Yeah, dude.
Holding a popsicle, and you're like, Oh shit.
Winter and zombies, bro.
Oh. Like zombies that aren't affected by the winter, get out of here.
Like Game of Thrones, winter zombies.
Yeah,
No
the
thanks.
walkers.
No thanks. What else is there? There's another virus. You know, they're talking about COVID 2.0. Sorry, I don't think I can say that word. They're talking about
Yeah, you can.
another pandemic. They're planning it again. They keep hitting us.
I think we can talk about everything right now.
Yeah.
I think right now, out of like we can actually talk about everything, but I think that it's kind of I think it's a catch-22.
Yeah.
I think it's going to snap back to reality here in a little while. And so all of us that are talking about everything, if we've even mentioned the JEW word, then we're going to be like tagged and bagged
Yep.
when Greater Israel happens.
Yeah. Probably, very likely. It's apocalypse in and of itself.
Screw it, come for me. Come for me.
But if another pandemic happens, just don't get their medicine. You'll be good.
Yeah, literally. They're selling you the poison.
Yeah.
They created the frickin' the pandemic.
The best thing you
so
could
that you
do,
would take the poison.
Yeah, the best thing you could do to prepare for that would be research herbs and medicines like homeopathic natural remedies.
And have a farm or some type of like sustainable. I think that, dude, we could honestly say that the answer for almost every one of these is to be sufficient.
Yeah.
Self-sufficiency.
Be logged out of
is
society
the
already.
Actual goal.
And
You gotta have
a
your
fallout
farm,
shelter.
get food. Yes.
Have a bunker.
Yes. So, dude, that is it. You get land, decent land, and you cultivate your land, you get a thing going on with it, and then you also invest resources into a bunker or a shelter or a fortress, a castle, whatever.
Yeah.
That's the meta thing that you're building. Like like your whole life's point should be in creating that like shelter. But you have the land that you work, and you have a family, and then your family works the land, and then your family has a family, and then we're all working the land, we're all building the shelter, and then we're all able to like have a place to go if anything bad happens.
Yeah.
But then once we have that one built and our population gets up, we build another one, and we just keep building. And if we were like that as a society, could you imagine how cool that would be?
That would be freaking sweet.
It'd be like we all just were super cooperative, and we were just really interested in being humans. We were just interested in being humans. So we want to secure our future, but we also want to be like stewards of the land, and we want to have families and be good to our families. So we just really focus on that. And there's like a template for it where it's like, get your land, make your family, cultivate your land with your family, build a shelter. And then the family expands, and then we just go around and build shelters with everybody. And that way, we could all live the lives that we want to live in a gratifying and deeply meaningful way, and also be ready for any of these crazy events to happen.
Yeah.
And frickin' survive it together. Like, that's what human beings want. That's like the
just want to survive the
ultimate
apocalypse.
Goal.
Deep down in everybody's
with
soul,
our
we just
family.
want to survive the apocalypse with your family.
That's it.
Yeah. I'd say
There's demons and stuff too. There's like the apocalypse with demons,
yeah.
the biblical type apocalypse where frickin' demons end up happening. They're walking the earth now. The mark has been given. Everybody's frickin' a slave to the B system. Antichrist
which is the idea,
sitting
right?
there.
Hell on earth for 7 years, right? 7 years or 1,000 years.
Yeah, I think it's 7.
Okay, but that's biblical ideas. They're gonna bring hell up to earth, demons, as it was in the days of Noah. And a third of the population is gonna get wiped out, and after the 7 years,
the rest of them are gonna go through crazy shit.
Yeah. After that, Jesus is gonna come back with his army, and that'll be angels and souls that want to serve, is the understanding. And they'll fight all the demons back and slay the Antichrist and slay the devil and
cleanse the world.
Whatever it is, cleanse the world, and it'll be heaven on earth forever. So,
but could you imagine like portals opening up and demons screaming through, and you've got to fight demons?
Yeah.
Say you're not saved immediately, and say you're not one of the third that gets killed, and you're just surviving in the end of days like that.
Right.
You're going to be forced to get a mark, and if you don't, then you'll get killed. But if you get killed not taking the mark, I think that's like instant beamage to heaven.
Yeah, right.
You're instantly like, okay, you didn't take the mark, so you're against the B system. Come on up.
Even if it's not, you get more chances, but no, for sure. Like, how are you gonna live in a world full of demons? Like, just straight up demons, giants, lower G gods. Magic is abound. Like, that's not only traumatic, but like, there's no surviving that. You just gotta run. You gotta hide.
And
like,
find Jesus in your heart, and
that's how you survive
7
that
years. You repent for 7 years straight, or for however long you're alive before a demon comes and takes your ass.
I'm thinking me. Like, if I don't die instantly and it's me living, like, I already accept Jesus in my heart. So I'm not thinking, what else do I do? Like, I'm not thinking...
You're just waiting to die.
I'm not thinking I got to accept Jesus more. I'm thinking, how do I just survive? But you're right. I would probably have to work on accepting Jesus more into my heart at that point.
Yeah, 100%. If you're not saved and you're experiencing tribulation, like, you got to ask yourself why that is.
Yeah,
and then you need to like ponder upon that until you're dead, which will be shortly, because you only get 7 years before the earth is ablaze.
Yeah, the only way to survive demon apocalypse is to fix you and get good with God.
Yep. And resist whatever. It doesn't matter if you get skinned alive. Like, resist that, because skinned alive only lasts a certain amount of time, but eternity is eternity.
And like, realistically, that is where we're going. That's the most likely scenario. These other things that are likely to happen are going to lead us there. And the way that that's described can be extrapolated to look like this. So this conversation that we had today is very prudent, because every generation seems like it's the end of the world, but more and more it looks like there's no other way. Like, with the ramping of AI, with the rising tension between nations, with the repeated talks of more gain of function tech on diseases and shit, like, we're gonna have something happen. There's no way it can't. So
be ready.
Yeah, be ready. Fix yourself. Get good with God. Like, follow, subscribe.
Be a prepper.
Keep tuning in.
Yeah.
Watch our show. Share us around. We're getting a lot of comments from a lot of randos now, and it's dope. We love to hear from you guys. Tommy just lost his like tinfoil hat crazy people conspiracy Discord. Like, they're just not posting as much anymore. So
yeah, it's a little sad.
Either hit us up with a good place for like this sort of community where we discuss this sort of shit, or let's work on building one ourselves, because we're not super savvy, but we need a hive mind of fucking tinfoil nerds that can
a community at large,
that we can all check each other
and learn together, and help each other in ways. Like, all of us carry a piece of the puzzle. And separately, I mean, when we're not communicating with each other and figuring out the puzzle, I mean, we're kind of fucking worthless and purposeless, and it doesn't mean a lot. But when we're together and we're able to kind of complete bigger sections of this puzzle that's going on, I mean, the value from that is kind of, you can't really measure it. You can't really measure it. The group that I had in Discord was so instrumental during the COVID years. It was insane. It was probably one of the single greatest resources that I had personally in my life during the COVID years. there was so much information getting shared. There was so much community going on around it, so that we could hold each other accountable and kind of keep tabs on all the happenings in the world. Like, we shared all the information that we would get, and then we would talk about it, and we would break it down and fit it in. And it's communities like that they really are a priceless thing. And what can come of them is truly a wild card for the system. So building a community, in my mind, is probably like ultimate goals. It's like ultimate goals. Get a good bunch of people that all notice, all work together, hold different pieces of the puzzle, and are willing to share their pieces and to work on figuring shit out.
Yeah.
And coming together over it. And I would love if you would join us. So join us and subscribe. Comment. Email us at shepherdspiepodcast@gmail.com.
You got it. Look at that.
Dude, badass. And yeah, we'll try to get something like that going on in the end of days that we will bear witness to. So
Very good, very good.
buckle up.
We'll see you guys on the next one.
Peace.